The way that Bravo is putting this out there and lining her words up with her other words and they don't match, it just potentially damaging for her to be known nationally as a person that lies when under pressure or trying to protect herself. Hey guys, what's up? It's Cecily, and we are going to review the Housewives of Potomac episode last night. I'm going to tell you right now, this review is probably going to be a lot different than the others that you see on channels. I'm not going to do the play-by-play. I'm going to pull out the things that I thought were most impactful, controversial, and needs to be talked about. First and foremost, I love to say that Bravo is on Candiace's side. Bravo has taken a stance with Candiace. They have definitely made sure that the audience knows that Candiace's version of events are in line with their version of events. In addition, anytime they show, that's my grandson in the background, we're just going to keep doing that, I guess. Monique's version of events have been challenged by them putting her against herself and showing timeline events that contradict what she's saying. So it's clear, Bravo does not agree with Monique. And they've exposed moments that would obviously show Monique might have been deceptive, how the story was leaked to the blogs, her account of the stories early on. She's not the first person to ever lie or to try to protect her image, so I'm not even going to come for her for that. Second, I think that Monique's attempt to bring the women together, it was definitely needed. She did need to face the group and to endure an uncomfortable moment, barrage of questions, and hear other people's attitudes. She most definitely scared everyone with her actions, and like some of them said, she's said some things, she's thrown some threats out there, and unfortunately she's the one that's actually come through on it. So yeah, when you make a mistake, you do have to go before your people, bow down, and hope that people can meet you where you are. I feel like Monique's approach with how things happen and her version was convoluted, and if her goal is to be redeemed, you cannot have redemption without remorse. People need to believe that you are changed. People need to believe that you are different now. And even if she said she was sorry immediately, people need time to actually believe that you've gone on a journey. Many people get caught stealing, lying, cheating, what have you, even doing the unthinkable, killing people, crimes of passion, things of that nature, and they immediately appear remorseful, but that's still not enough to be redeemed, still be enough to be trusted. And so those things don't always come hand in hand, but I do believe, unfortunately for Monique, that by her not offering remorse, not being sorry, that this didn't do well in her favor, and they don't buy the new attitude. If we were to fast forward from all that other stuff that they went through, the whole meeting, the last 2 minutes I think are the most favorable for Monique. If Monique would have led with compassion, not only for herself, but for Candiace, if she would have mentioned that she doesn't know where to go, that this is affecting her in her personal life, how she feels about herself, her self-esteem, that she feels lost, then I think people would have embraced that version of her from the top. If she would have led with the last few minutes of the meeting that we saw and went into it that way and then opened it up for questions, I think she would have got a different reaction from the women. Of course, the tweet didn't help, the leaked story didn't help, and even still, if she said, hey, I put those things out there because I wanted to protect myself, but I know that this is putting more fuel on the fire, and I have a change of heart. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to go. This is the direction I want to go, not only for myself, for my family, for those who love me, for you guys, for Bravo, for the people, the Black women, whoever, then I think people would have been on board. She is probably doing the best she can. So if she's doing the best she can where she's at, then that's all we can really expect at this time, because that's just where she's at. Unfortunately, that's just where she's at. And how do we expect people to change if they don't know better? I'm sure if she could have found a better way to get to the place she is probably right now, a year later, then she would have went there. But as human beings, we go through our processes, and she's going through a process. I do like the fact that Candiace went to see her therapist. Her therapist did, but asked her questions that would lead her to the discovery that what was your contribution to all this? And we all know that Candiace contributed to it. I like Candiace's character on the show. I do believe that Monique took it too far. I do believe that Candiace antagonized her. I don't think that those two are the same things. I absolutely don't. But Candiace does need to own her part. She's saying the right things, she's doing the right things, but she really does need to come all the way down and say, I shouldn't have done that to her. And it really hurts me that what we both did went into this direction. And I'm hurt that she put her hands on me. I would never think that she would do that to me. All those things can happen at the same time. Now, we're all talking best case scenario because we're watching somebody else's business. Would I be able to function like that? I don't know. Like, would you be able to function like that? Maybe yes, maybe no. So we're not expecting these people to be robots or to be the moral high ground of anything. We're just watching, we're learning, and we're experiencing it. So people are getting on Giselle for bringing security to the meeting. She could wear the wrong color lipstick and you're gonna let her have it. Well, this is why I'm not mad, and I'm actually okay with any reality star doing something like this when things get physical. Now, put yourself in her shoes, someone that you've had a contentious vibe with since forever, right? Words with since forever, has actually decided to get in a fight, and you witness that up close, and you see how vicious the fight is. You also see how hard it was for this person to snap out and snap right back into reality. I mean, did she ever snap back? Some of y'all might say no. So if you're on the opposite end of that with that person, and you see how they fight, and you see how they get down, and how hard it is for them to disconnect and to come into reason, then it's not so hard to think that I might be the next person. That if you are in a fighting mood, that I might be the next person that you come at, especially when we talk about things that have some sort of weight to them. And I think it's symbolic also to say, listen, I'm bringing somebody here because we're not going to have that kind of moment. Now, did Monique have any beef with Giselle at the time? I don't think so, but I think it still was necessary to have someone there just in case things did get physical. And you never know when things get physical. None of them knew that wine tasting event would turn into the bullshit that it turned into. It just makes no sense at all. So that's not something that I thought was a moment for her to upstage everyone, or, just another publicity stunt or something like that. I think she genuinely thought, hey, I didn't know it was that kind of party, but if it is, I got somebody that can handle it. And that's fine. I mean, I really do think that you should protect yourself at all costs. If you feel like somebody might get violent and put their hands on you, then you should feel comfortable. You should feel comfortable in this world that no one is going to put their hands on you and that you're going to have to beg them to let you go. So I don't have any problems with that. I do think that though Robin can be, she can be messy at times. I feel like her contributions to the conversation were the most level-headed and the most real. She really interjected, I thought, thoughtfully about the tweet, about the blog situation, those leaks. And I really feel like she might be onto something in that regard. And that it seems more for her that she seems disappointed in Monique, and that she might have even been on Monique's side had she not side in the sense that I'm here for you. Not that I'm here for you beating up Candiace, but I'm here for you and you going through a process. I think that would have been her reaction, honestly, had she not seen Monique kind of taking a victory lap and trying to, or not Monique, but maybe someone in her team, someone in her entourage, like I said, taking a victory out and putting their information out there before Candiace could release her side, so they can kind of shape the story of what happened before we actually got to see it. Overall, I think Wendy's contribution to the conversation was important and it's needed. I know you guys are tired of hearing, Black women don't have to all uphold each other and things like that. And, maybe you on the street scrapping with somebody around the corner, maybe you don't feel like that pressure of being a role model, but when we look to these women on these shows, there's so much scrutiny when they get into fights versus other shows, there is a lot of pressure from your family, from your friends, from people that care about you, or people who watch, to say, we want you to be upstanding versions of Black people. Can you please do that for us? For all you that say, oh, they don't have to be that, they don't put that on us. There's plenty of people that do expect it and do put it on them. They do. So if that's Wendy's burden, if Wendy has a personal pledge to be an upstanding Black woman no matter what, if she feels that her job and her image and her duty is to be an upstanding Black woman and to be a light that for younger Black women to look up to, for other Black women to be proud of, then that's her choice. And if that's her contribution, saying this is how I view this show, this is how I view myself, this is what I'm a part of, then she has a right to feel that way. You can't tell her how to feel like she can't tell you how to feel. One thing I love Black people to do is to not thinking that we all have to think the same, and for you to own your statements. There's an I for a reason, and anticipate that someone else has an I as well. I have an opinion, you got one too. Neither one of us may be right on most issues, but we should respect the fact that we have a difference of opinion. That right there is something that we need to do more of. Lastly, I'm just a fan of Karen. Like, Karen really responds the way I think a friend should respond. I could see myself being that. That would probably be my reaction to how Monique would have done all this. I would have been complimentary. I would have been like, hey, you did wrong, right? I never would have did that, right? But I'll be here with you. And I wish that they all would have responded like that. Variations. I feel like the most disingenuous response is Ashley. Ashley, to me, seems like she's just siding with Monique because she's against Candiace. She never saw what happened. She immediately bought her version of it, and there's just an air of some sort of deception or just something on her part where she just won't accept the parts of the story that would implicate Monique as being the aggressor and otherwise. I don't want this to be the storyline for the rest of the season. We've had it. It's happened. I'm really, really over it. I'm just trying to understand why Bravo, to me, seems to be more putting more of their own personality and spin on the Black shows. They just seem to be framing things more so against characters than they were before. Now, the editor's job is to frame the story. And trust me, editors are really good at making people look good and making people look bad. And at times, they have picked who they like and dislike. I feel like Bravo is really taking creative license with doing that on the Black shows versus the other shows. I mean, in Shahs of Sunset too, I feel like they did a little bit more. And I think that can be dangerous because these are real people and we're playing with their lives. They're not characters in a fucking play. They are real people. So that concerns me because even though I think Monique was wrong in this sense, I really feel like the way that Bravo is putting this out there and lining her words up with her other words and they don't match, it just potentially damaging for her to be known nationally as a person that lies when under pressure or trying to protect herself. Like, we all lie. We do. But no one catches us in a lie and puts us side by side like that. And I think that she's still so very young. She has a young family. She has a whole life ahead of her. Yes, she made a mistake. Not the kind of mistake I would ever make, but I just really think I don't think it's fair for it to play out like this. Even though she put it out there, these things will last forever. And they don't need to assist in making her look bad. She already looks bad enough. At any rate, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Did you watch the show? Do you like the show? Will you be watching next week? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Bye.